Am I supposed to talk? Hey guys, it is Zoe, and today I am back with yet another video about something that is utterly terrible. If you haven't seen my last video, you should go check it out. It's about 5-minute crafts, test out some viral TikTok hacks apparently. I don't know, I have to go check it out. Probably over here, who knows. Which YouTube actually tried to make a copyright claim, which was very rude, for I was under fair use, of course. Today we're actually going to be talking about something called Miraculous Ladybug. Something that was my childhood for a really long time, something that I really loved, but now I despise this show. There's a lot of good things in this show, like, well, I can't think of them off the top of my head, but there are some good things. I mean, the animation is okay. I mean, the storyline makes the lore, the character development. I'll think of something, but no, it is an okay show. It's like a childhood thing that you sort of just like watch, not for like the lore or anything good, just for like the fun of it, you know? It's like that kind of show. It's just like in the background and you just don't pay attention to it. It's like that kind of show. So if you do actually try to get into it, then you'll be met with misery and heartbreak and dissatisfaction, as many of us fans were. Well, hey, at least this isn't Voltron. When I was little, I used to be obsessed with this show. I even made a video ranting about it. You can go check that out if you want to. You don't have to do that. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Just watch this video. So we're going to be tackling a lot of subjects here on Miraculous Ladybug and all the things that they did wrong, things that could have improved, and it could have been like a really great show. And like, just because it's a kid's show doesn't mean it has to be bad. It could be a really good show. Like, we have Avatar, we have Curious George. That was a good show, okay? I'm sorry, I love Curious George, okay? Okay, but there's like so many good shows to choose from and you choose Curious George. Alright. Anywho, let's get into this. Oh boy. So before filming this video, I did want to like recap and like watch through the episodes, but then I didn't want to put myself through that misery. So I just watched people react to it so that I didn't have to suffer more than I had to. I already watched all the seasons. Okay, enough talking. Miraculous Ladybug. Okay, the first thing we're going to be talking about is the animation and just like this, how the seasons work and like the directors and everything like that. So the animation is done by 2 companies actually. I can't remember the name, but I'll put it here on the screen. One of the animation studios is really great. It makes it really aesthetic to look at. It's like really pleasing to look at. But then the other animation company, not so much. As you can see, Marionette's hair in the animation company is like, it's supposed to be blue hair, it's supposed to be like silky, glossy, whatever. And this animation company did like a really good job, but in the other one, it's like dark, blue, blackish. It's like very, it's just, Another thing is when she had her hair down, that just, that animation company, that was not a look. I'm sorry, but let's just not think about that too hard. The other thing is about how the episodes are labeled and how they're sort of out of order. Like, it doesn't make sense, because this is sort of series that makes sense like episode by episode, not just like it doesn't matter which episode you watch. And so the company, I guess, whatever, made the episodes out of order, some of them, so it doesn't make sense when some of the characters come in and just spoils things and just doesn't make any sense. And another thing is how the seasons, at least in Netflix, instead of just being season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, it's season 1, season 2, season 3 part 1, and season 3 part 2, which I don't understand why there has to be 2 parts to one season. Why couldn't it just be season 3 and season 4? Like, that makes sense. Hello? It's just the thing that really annoys me. It's just like, why is there 2 parts to season? But like, okay. And just like the animation just really triggers me, at least with the really bad animation company, because like Hawkmoth just looks so weird, man, that looks weird. Everyone looks weird, like they look. But the other animation company was wonderful and they looked so good. It was great. We loved that. But then they left. Makes sense why the good company would leave, but at least for the show. Okay, next thing we're going to be talking about is the characters, the character developments, yeah. Okay, one thing is that Marinette gets really annoying during like season 3, or just in general, she's just really annoying. And one thing that makes her really annoying is her crush on Adrian, which at first, like in the first season or two, it just starts as like fun, cute, whatever. Like, oh, teehee, it's Adrian. He's like a model. Oh my gosh, he's at my school. He's my friend now. He's just a friend. We'll get into that later. She has a crush on him. It's cute, whatever. But the more just carries on, and just like Adrian being ignorant, and just like her being very obvious or just very annoying around him or whatever, it just gets more upsetting. It's just like, oh, he's finally gonna find out, blah blah blah. But then like, no, of course not. It's gonna be another season or 5, because they actually said that they might be 5 seasons, which is, I mean, if they do season 5 part 1 part 2, we'll probably have like 10 seasons that we don't want, so that's fun. But her crush on Adrian begins to get more like disturbing, like obsessive sort of. One of the episodes, was it Chatblanc? But she goes into his room as Ladybug to give him a love confession, which starts this whole spiral of events, and which was a really stupid idea. Why would she go and dress as Ladybug? She could have been caught easily. But of course, Marinette let her emotions get in the way of her actual work and duty of not being found out, which doesn't make sense, but we will get into that later. Yeah, she gives him this love note, but as she's in his room, she goes around just like sniffing the pillows, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is Adrian's pillow, and it just gets really weird and disturbing sort of. And then I'm like, girl, that ain't cute. After invading his personal space and sniffing his clothing or whatever the heck that was, she leaves, but then I think she gets caught by Adrian. I don't remember, because Chatblanc scarred me. Like, I don't understand what's going on. I don't want to understand or remember, because like I think I just like deleted it from my memory. So whatever went on there, I'm not gonna recall that. But that was a crazy episode that didn't make any sense once again. And now going more into like the love interest plot of the series. In the beginning, I think in the first episode actually, Nico actually had a crush on Adrian. Would be a great ship though. Actually had a crush on Marinette, and Adrian, being a good supportive friend, he was like, oh yeah, you guys should date, so I'm gonna get you together, whatever. So they go to this zoo apparently with Alia. Keep in mind that this time Marinette had a crush on Adrian and Alia's trying to get them together. And then they have to turn to Cat Noir, Ladybug, whatever. And then Nico and Alia get stuck together, and then they end up dating. But in the very beginning, Nico liked Marinette, and I feel like, why'd they include that? Because it never got brought up anytime after that episode. Like, it's just like a plot hole. Like, why was it even there in the first place? And another thing is that I believe Alia was new to the school, and so was Marinette, and all of a sudden they were best friends. I feel there's too much going on. Like, what's going on? And just like the whole thing with like Nico, like why did he even like Marinette in the first place? They could have got together. I feel like he is such a great guy. Like, we love Nico, very supportive friend, but like, really, you're gonna like Adrian? Like, basic, because everyone in the whole school probably likes Adrian because he's like this model, he's famous, and it's like, of course she's gonna like Adrian. I just didn't understand why that was even there in the first place. Another thing is Kagami's and Adrian's relationship, and and whatever episode it was, I can't remember, when Cat Noir / Adrian was like, okay, you know what, Ladybug doesn't like me and you need to move on. I was like, okay, good for you, because I didn't like the whole thing with Ladybug and Cat Noir, because like Ladybug kind of leading him on, Cat Noir just like keep persisting even though she obviously doesn't like him, even though that's confusing too. Anyways, I just didn't like that. Cat Noir moves on for like 1 second, and then like with Kagami, I feel like that's not fair to her, but he gives her like a rose, and then I guess they're together now. I don't know. Still, he flirts with Ladybug, and it's just like, I don't think that's fair to Kagami. Yeah, that was weird. And the whole thing, then Lila came in too. There was like so many people like Adrian. There was like Lila, there was Chloe, I forgot to say, Marinette, Kagami. Why Adrian? Like, he's just a basic white boy. I'm sorry. A lot of people in the fandom like hated Kagami for whatever reason. I guess because they shipped Marinette and Adrian. Oh, but like Kagami was honestly a really good person, I think. In that thing that happened, like the ice skating episode, I think she was just trying to. She's like being protective of Adrian. She's trying to like help him. I don't think she was trying to be rude to Marinette, but she was. You know what? I don't remember what happened. Y'all were attacking Kagami so much. Like, chill off on this girl, okay? She honestly just needed friends too. She deserved all the friends. And Marinette being rude to her was another thing. Like the main character is supposed to love her, but she gets really annoying. Like in the friendship episode, whatever thing, when they're supposed to do like this maze of friends and become friends, and then they get to meet Adrian. Gets paired with Kagami, and obviously she doesn't like her because I guess she likes Adrian or whatever was going on. He was FaceTiming Alia or whatever. Alia sent her some video saying like, oh, you got with Kagami, like, oh, that sucks or whatever. And Kagami was hurt because like they were talking behind her back, saying how horrible she was, but she's not horrible. I felt so bad. I'm just like, that's not cool, Marinette. Like, I get that you like Adrian, but this is the thing with her crush on Adrian's just really obsessive, like / possessive. It's not a good look. And the thing with Adrian saying like, oh, she's just a friend, like he literally cannot get a hint that she likes him. Like it's so obvious. It is so obvious that Marinette likes him, and he doesn't have brain cells when he's Adrian, apparently. He's like, oh, Plague, she's just a friend. Oh, she's just a friend. Can you shut up? The kissing where like she kissed him on the cheek or whatever after some episode. I don't even know. And then he took that as a friendly gesture. Is there something going on in your brain? Is there something up there? Because it doesn't seem like there's anything in your brain. I don't understand this man. She's just a friend. It's like a whole meme, and I love the meme, but it just annoys me so much. My theory is that they don't actually love each other, because another theory is that when Marinette is Ladybug, she is who she aspires to be, like someone that's cool, confident, creative, whatever, which Marinette's very clumsy, not confident. And Cat Noir is like who Adrian wants to be. Like he's free to do whatever he wants. He jokes around more. He's not like stuck inside because of his father, like Adrian is. And like they're who they want to be, but that's not really them, if that makes sense. And so Adrian liking Ladybug is like him liking sort of the best version of Marinette, but not who she really is. So I don't really think because if he doesn't like Marinette, if she's just a friend, then you don't like Ladybug. You don't love her, is what I'm saying. And Marinette with Adrian is sort of like this facade. Sort of, he's like, oh, he's a model, oh, he's handsome, blah 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 blah, like he's so famous. Like you like the idea of Adrian, but do you really love him? Or Cat Noir, you just push him aside, you don't think much of him. He's just like, oh, that's Cat Noir, whatever. I really don't think they love each other, and it just annoys me because I feel like the whole show wants them to get together, whatever, because that's like, oh, Ladybug, Cat Noir, Adrian, Marinette. I just, at the end of the day, I just don't think. I just don't think like how Adrian can't think. And the thing with Ladybug leading Cat Noir on just doesn't sit right, because like he's always like flirting with her, but then mostly she's like, oh no, but then sometimes she's like, what's the word? Oh my god, there's a word. Okay, whatever the word was, she just allows it to like be more. She sort of embraces it. She sort of like, oh, I don't know, do I like you, do I not? Which is sort of leading him on. And that one episode with the ice cream guy, he's like, my name is Andre Glacier, the sweetheart ice cream maker. I still love that song. I love that so much. But that episode where she leads him on, and then he like invites her to like on top of Paris. He has all these candles, roses. It's beautiful, and then she doesn't show up. Like that's kind of on Cat Noir too, but also Ladybug, because I think she said she would be there. I don't remember everything. I just remember being very upset at that. Okay, and Luca. I love Luca. He deserves so much better than this. Like with Marinette, like he would have honestly been like a great boyfriend. He would have been a great partner, steady, not like he's just great, okay? He's not stupid like Adrian. Can't figure he's very cool, calm. I love Luca. With Marinette, clearly she can't decide who she likes. Marinette, she's like, oh, I'm in love with Adrian, like, oh, but I'm also like Luca, and I'm like, okay, but don't play with his feelings too, along with Cat Noir. But she does exactly that. It just really sucks for Luca, because like he's great. He deserves someone who really loves him. He does. She goes on this date with Luca, like a date with him, and then here she is talking about Adrian or like whatever was happening, and then eventually she's just like, go. He's just like, just go chase after him. And he was like so kind, like, you know that one episode? I'm just assuming that you watched this whole thing, because if you're not, you're so confused. But that one episode where she literally chases after Adrian and she goes into his car. She's like, wait, and then Luca was like, yeah, and he let her go because he's a smart boy. He is so kind, and he sacrificed what he wanted for her because he knew it's not what she wanted, or it wouldn't have been good for any of them. Like, let's just stand Luca, okay? And the thing is, Luca and Kagami aren't bad. They're just placed in this situation that is very confusing and makes no sense whatsoever, and they deserve better. One thing I forgot to talk about was how Ladybug and Cat Noir, how there were scenes that showed what would happen if they found out who each other were, which sort of just like didn't make it any more exciting to actually find out what would happen because we already know, so there's really no point in watching it anymore. And that brings us to Chloe, who is a love interest for Adrian, who they were childhood friends, I suppose, or whatever was happening. Chloe likes Adrian, and everyone seems to have hated Chloe, but the thing is, she's not bad. She was just in an abusive environment with her mother, and then that also tied into her relationship with Sabrina, and it's the creators also didn't like her, I guess the director or whatever. But like, can they not see that this girl was actually being mentally abused? Not hating on Chloe so much. She just needs help, okay? She just needs a good family, good friends, and like how she looks up to Ladybug. It's just like, she just needs someone in her life to tell her that you can do it. That's what Ladybug was to her. But it's also confusing because Ladybug was Marionette and she also hated Chloe, and the thing with Ladybug sort of making fun of like people she hated, like okay with like Lila and sort of with Chloe, just like the show. One thing I forgot to mention is how poorly Cat Noir is represented throughout the show. Okay, Shaggy, that's my dog over there. How poorly Cat Noir is represented. Like, it's always about Ladybug this, Ladybug that. Oh, Ladybug saved Paris. Oh, and Cat Noir, by the way. But who cares about him? It only cares about Ladybug and her feelings for Adrian, and her being annoying and mean for no reason, and her being like obsessed with Adrian. What about Cat Noir? If the show was more focused on him, or like more of the both of them, it could be much better, like focusing on Adrian's struggles with his father, his family, and like more about his mom. Like, we want to know about Adrian. We don't care about Marinette right now. She's annoying. We get it. Can we talk about Adrian? That just really annoys me. Okay, moving on to Felix, whatever the heck that episode was. Who said that was okay? Who allowed this episode? Felix was supposed to be in the original thing that was supposed to happen was that Felix was Adrian from like the beginning creation thing before they decided to do like 2D animation, whatever the heck they're doing. Felix was Adrian. Now I guess he's his cousin who looks just like him, literally like his twin. And then his mother, I suppose, is like the sister or the twin of his dead or mom who's in a coma, which is a whole nother thing. Show upsets me so much. Felix doesn't make any sense how like he tries to sabotage Adrian's relationship with like Marinette and like Chloe. It doesn't make any sense why he just all of a sudden shows up. It's like another plot hole, and he never shows up again. He doesn't make like an appearance or has any sort of contribution to the show as itself. He's just there that one episode. Like, a lot of things in this show just don't make sense. The only difference between him and Adrian is that their hair is different, and honestly, I just don't think that Felix should have been there in the first place. But which brings to his mom. Oh goodness gracious. Oh, there's this whole thing with like the butterfly Miraculous. So his mom had it, and in theory the Miraculous is what made her weak. Or actually, was that a theory? Was that confirmed? I don't know, but the Miraculous made her weak, and she died or is in a coma. We don't know that. All we know is she's at like in this basement in a sort of coffin thing with like, I'm gonna put a picture which Hawkmoth has in his house basement or somewhere. Hawkmoth wants to get the Miraculous so bad, it's just so that he can put the Ladybug, Cat Noir Miraculous, which makes a wish, he could grant it to Guess to get his wife back. But if she's dead, then he would try to bring her back to life, which I don't think would be a great idea, and that could cause a lot of things to go wrong. But if she's in a coma, it doesn't make sense. I can understand why Hawkmoth would do that, because he wants his wife back, he's sad, but he's forgetting what's right in front of him, which is his son, who he is abusive to. He won't let him go outside. Originally, he just wanted to like school him at home. He didn't want him to go out, have friends, do anything, which is not good. Can't redeem Hawkmoth because in Chatblanc, he finds out Cat Noir is Adrian, yet he still hurts him, and then Cat Noir explodes the moon. I don't know what is going on in the show. So Hawkmoth, horrible dad, dismissing his wife, and then Natalie is trying to help him bring his wife back, but also at the same time I think she has feelings for Gabriel Hawkmoth, which is kind of disturbing because she's like his assistant, and like okay. One more thing I forgot to say is that Plague and Hawkmoth's Kwame, I forgot his name, are in the same house, so wouldn't they be able to sense each other? Like in that one episode where they're trying to channel him to like get him away from Hawkmoth, wouldn't Plague have a deeper connection with them because they're in the same household? Like, that didn't make any sense. Off that topic, in that one episode where the teacher like sees Plague and in the classroom, and she's like, oh my goodness, and it goes on like live television or whatever with don't be amused, it's just the news, hello, I'm Nadia Shamat. Yes, I didn't memorize that. I thought that in the beginning they said Kwames can only be seen by their miraculous holder, but all of a sudden now the teacher can see Plague. It's not really adding up. Miraculous holder of all the Miraculouses, and then the Kwame box with like the trombone thing, whatever, you know, with the Kwames, and it just didn't make sense. Because why did only Marionette was allowed to know about this? Like, why not Cat Noir? And why was she chosen to be in charge of all the Miraculouses at the end? Like, that didn't make any sense. Why she was chosen to be in charge of all the Miraculouses, like all of the fate of the world basically on this one girl who's Ladybug, who's in high school, well, that wasn't a wise choice, honestly. Like, why was she chosen to be the holder of all the Miraculouses? Like, why? Can someone explain that to me? Another thing, why was she only allowed to know? Like, why not Cat Noir? Because, like, you know, the old guy who's in charge of everything, he was like, oh yes, Ladybug, you're Ladybug, I am the miraculous holder, blah blah blah. But then there was like Cat Noir can't know. And the thing was like they can't know each other's identities for some reason. And then all of a sudden in this one episode they're like, oh yeah, or then we'll have to give away our Miraculouses. Like, why didn't you say that before in the other 3 seasons? And like with Alia and Nino, when they got Miraculouses, which is just adding more confusion. They found out who each other were and nothing happened. But then Ladybug and Cat Noir can't, because they'll lose their Miraculouses if they do. And I guess it's because they're the most important Miraculous holders, but that just doesn't make any sense why they can't know. It's like, why is Cat Noir always left in the dark about these things? Like, why can't he know about the Miraculous holders? He doesn't have to know Ladybug's identity to know about this. It doesn't make sense why they're only leaving him in the dark. Isn't he one of the most important parts of being Miraculous, making the wish? But then again, without the Ladybug's Miraculous, the show, like all of Paris, would be in shatters. Because Ladybug's Miraculous is the only important Miraculous, because her Miraculous is the only one that has the power to zap them away and get rid of the accumatizations around Paris, because without her Miraculous that would not be possible. And another thing is why Gabriel Agreste is willing to manipulate people and literally destroy or kill hundreds of people in Paris just to get his wife back. Which, I mean, I get the backstory, but like, I don't think your wife would want that. But then again, we don't know what his wife would want because we don't know anything about her except that she was Adrian's mom. For all we know, she could be evil too and be a part of his evil plan. We don't know anything about this mom. And I feel like this show is just a lot of wasted potential. And like, Lila could have been the new Hawkmoth, which still be, but Ordinary Dreamer does a great video on that, revising Miraculous Ladybug, basically making her own storyline of what should be, and I love her. I love Nadia. She does a great video, so you should go watch that. And it's basically how the story should be. This show, and the show is just pretty predictable. Oh, fly, fly away, little Akuma. Oh, no evil dream for you, little Akuma. Oh, the end. Like, you get what's gonna happen. Like I said, you just watch while doing something or in the background. It's like nothing special, really. It's not worth getting into because it makes literally no sense, which is just what upsets me so much. In this video here is that the timing in France made sense with like the episode order, but for some reason in the US they just messed that up, so now we have this. So that's a bit of what I had to say about Miraculous Ladybug. Really talk about just one topic for an hour, but that is why I am so upset, because this show has wasted potential. It could have been so good. It could have been a great show, which is really sad because no, the show's cheesy, it's cute, it's fun, whatever. It's just like the plot holes and that makes no sense. And just the relationships and the character development, it just could have been so much better if they just let Ordinary Dreamer take over the writing. Like, come on. Those are my thoughts on Miraculous Ladybug. That was a mouthful, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment down below if you want to see more videos like this or what kind of videos you want to see. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!